The story of a two-time felon, a street matriarch, former gangbanger, drug dealer from the brazen streets of Detroit, better known as the D.
My name is DeVisions Brooks, just a turnaround.
Being an East Side resident, violence is rampant. The judicial system is alive and
I
thriving.
remember like in 82, 84, when I was like maybe 8 years old, my neighborhood was really a predominantly white neighborhood. Dope fiends, drug dealers, police officers, gangsters, gangbangers, shooting, guns, and more guns, and drugs, and guns. That's what I seen coming up, so, and I was a part of all of it, even going to middle school. Going to middle school, 8th grade, it was tough, coming up, like I said, in a single parent home, brother, sister, we had to do what we had to do to eat and to survive. I'm in the most dangerous neighborhood in Detroit, Michigan, on the east side, 48205. That zip code is like on the Fed list for the most dangerous hood in Detroit. I enjoyed going to school. When I was coming up as a kid, it was pretty cool. I stayed in a lot of trouble. Didn't finish it, but I ended up going back to do what I had to do. I dropped out of school after 8th grade. After the 8th grade, when I got kicked out of Von Steuben Middle School, graduated from 8th grade, from Farwell Middle School. Started selling dope that summer. I think I had to be like 13 years old. Started selling dope, sold dope from like 13 really to 17 years old. And the money and the family I was with, the drug dealer guys I was hanging with, that was my family. We was eating, getting money, and that was it for me. I was about 13 when I dropped out of school and started getting money, trying to get money, which I did, but don't have to last forever. That's a different story. I used to carry a lot of guns on me at that age, 13, 14 years old. I carried a lot of guns, and I used to get pulled over, and one time I went to jail right in front of my house. Literally walked out the front door, it was a .22 rifle. I had just sawed the barrel off on it, and I was about to walk my homeboy to the crib. As soon as we walked off the porch, police pulled up on us, and I ended up going to jail for that. You know what I mean? I was locked up for a minute at the youth home. It's a place here that's called the youth home or something like that. But that was kind of crazy. I was young. My friend ran. You know what I'm saying? I didn't run. And but the thing is, when they locked me up, put me in the back of the police car, my friend, he came back. And they put him in handcuffs and put him in the car. I asked him, I say, what did you come back for? He say, man, it was all my fault. So I was just gonna let him take you, so I'm going too, man. So Kendall Johnson, yeah, he's the truth. By the time '96 came, my neighborhood just became a drug-infested, gang banging, the red zone. It became really, really bad. From me born and raised on the same block for 40 years to see where I came from, to see where my neighborhood is at right now. It's sad. It's almost ghost town. They knocking all the houses down. There's maybe a couple houses on the block.
If you go over there and look at that shit right now, you'll probably be scared to walk through that. You ain't walk through that, cuz. Period.
Was it easy for you to adapt to that?
Yes, it's my atmosphere. I'm a product of my atmosphere. I'm a product of my environment. So for me, it's something that I'm used to seeing because I grew up around it. Teenage years, a day for me was smoking weed, drinking. It's been really bad. Doing a lot of bad shit, man, for no reason at all. Like going up to the stores, getting on top of their buildings, throwing bricks at people's cars, and it was bad, man. It was really, really bad. Like, it was fun back then for me because I was young, I was a kid, but now that I'm older and I looking back at it, I was a monster. Music career is something that I had passion for.
Man, when it comes to that music, ain't no stopping Doc with that, man. He gonna be consistent. He gonna put out albums. He gonna keep. If he don't give a f, he gonna make whatever happen when it comes to that music. He take that shit serious as hell.
I have a cousin, Tamia Hill. You know, her name is Tamia Washington, but you know she married to Gray Hill. But me and her, we used to do duets back when we was little out in Canada. You know, we did the music thing, but like I said again, the streets like really took me under, so I never really got a chance to prosper in that area. And around 2008, when I did have my breakaway to really like do something with the music, I ended up getting locked up again, and this time I ended up going to the big house. And by the time I came home from that, the eras changed, time changed, and it's just it was what it was. The music is like really kind of different. I still do the music, but just the vibe and the energy just not really there for me, because I've been through a whole lot, from being shot to gang banging, selling drugs, having kids, everything, man. So and the time came by so fast, like 20 years. These past 20 years almost seemed like 2 weeks to me. Everything just came so quick, so fast. Being young, adolescent, going back to the one question, like how was my teenage life, was like, violence and drugs and alcohol. And it was a party that I attended to. I shouldn't even been there no way. I was bad. Only reason I got in a lot of trouble because my mom's had to work in the afternoon hours, so when she had work, I go outside. I ain't supposed to be going outside, but I go outside and run the streets while she gone and get in a lot of trouble. And we went to a party, and a fight broke out. Everybody run out the house party. I run out the house party as well because I need to get back to crashing. So as I'm coming up the stairs, I used to keep a little gun on me, a little 32 revolver. And I remember running up the stairs, and normally I shoot in the air just to let people know I'm around here, right? And when I so happened to come up the stairs trying to get to crashing, I turned my body around. And when I turned my body around, like my gun was pointed at this one guy, and of course he shot me, you know what I'm saying? Shot me in the leg.
Being shot, doing shootings, getting incarcerated multiple times, finally coming to the realization that I must turn it around.
I done seen Doc turn around, man, from the straight bad guy, man, the straight villain, man, the straight that you just didn't want to with, and that's my man's, you know what I'm saying? So, if I had to call him, shit, it was going down, you know what I'm saying? He didn't treat me like that, but the rest of them, man, I feel sorry for most of these niggas out here, man, with Doc.
I was definitely a big brother to a few people. I was the man, so, I made sure everybody ate, had white beaters, boxers, hang socks, shoes, food, whatever. So I took care of my crew that was in there. So yeah, definitely that. Talking about a hell of a turnaround, man. Without it for me, I could be dead, or I'm supposed to be doing 25 to life. I'm just gonna keep it at that. You know what I mean? But I did the little time I did. The first time I did it, I really didn't learn nothing because I did my year. Like I said, I came home, got right back in trouble. I ain't even been home 30 days. And I'm back in there, got to do another year and a half. So after that made me want to be like, I'm getting older in age, my kids is getting older, and I've been going to jail ever since 15 years old, man. 15 all the way to 32 years old. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out for whatever, disorderly conduct, driving on suspended license, weed, drugs, guns, like, I had reached my breaking point on my last bit, and I got tired, and I educated myself how I could be a better man out here, when I come home. How can I do things better, where it's gonna prevent me from having to come back in there, but I learned a lot, my experience there, again, I take my hat off to it. Not a place I want to go back to, but it's very educational, best believe that. What's some of the things that I learned when I was serving time? First of all, I learned about law, criminal law. I ain't know none of my U.S. constitutional rights. You know, it's a lot of things I didn't know. So by me learning the law, knowing my constitutional rights, knowing the judicial system, you know, that was huge for me, because now it's been 4 years and I haven't been back, haven't violated, you know, I'm off of parole, you know what I mean? So because of what I have learned when I was in there. 4 years since I've been out of prison, what my life been like? It's definitely been a turnaround. It's definitely been different. You know, the struggle was definitely for real. You know, before I went in, I was a six-figure fella out here. And to lose everything and to have to try to bounce back these 4 years, it's just the struggle has been real. Turnaround has been real, but yeah, man, it's, you know, it's crazy. It's a love and hate situation, because when I was living the negative life, it was like I had everything that you can imagine. Walking around with 10,000 in each pocket every day. Like when I was living a negative life, it might sound funny, but I didn't have no pain here. You know, I didn't have any pain. Now that I done turned it around and living a positive life, it's painful. It's painful. It sounds crazy, but for me, it's, you know, live a positive life, because this is something that's brand new to me. It wasn't nothing never positive about it. Closest I was positive, that's probably when I came out my mama's womb. But by the time I got about 7, 8 years old, it was a wrap. So as far as in positivity for me, for the past 4 years, this is what I've been trying to learn, to be positive, to be more, you know, polite, generous, try to be more of a law-abiding citizen, you know, and look at things different and not so much hood-wise all the time. Definitely, you know, more changes are gonna come all the way until I'm 100 years old. But it's definitely working out for me. I like how I present myself in the public eye these days. Like, I'm not wild, and you know, I was a hot mess. Like, you know, literally, you could be working in a restaurant, and I could come in there and order some food, and you will say something smart to me, and I will pull out a 17-shot 4.5 Ruger, about to blast your freaking face off. I don't care who you was. This is how wild I was. Like, I was really negative. Like, negative to the veins, to the core, to the blood. So for me to go through everything that I went through and been home for 4 years, it's just been a lot of, I can't say prayers, because I don't do the prayer thing, but if I would to pray, it'd be like, Jesus or God, you know, help me not, you know, hurt somebody, you know. But it's been working out pretty good though. You know, it's been 4 years. I go to Specs Howard.
I would never thought this 10 years ago. Even though he already know how to do the things that he's doing, but they're teaching him more stuff that he didn't know how to do, and how to do it quicker and faster. And it's helped benefit him in his whole future.
Went to Baker College. You know, I run my own business. I'm trying to put it all together, and it has been working slowly but surely. But you know, if I had the choice to go with the negative pain or the positive pain, I don't want to never feel what I'm feeling right now. Just period. You know, I've been a six-figure guy for over 20 years. So when you that type of guy, and this is all you know for 20 straight years, you get accustomed to that. This is your lifestyle. So when you get all of that taken away from you, and you barely a 3-figure person, I mean, put it this way, y'all know the rapper Puff Daddy or whatever. He been a millionaire ever since we could think about it. Now just imagine him waking up one morning with $2 in his bank account. Right. How you think he gonna react to that 2 years from that, after being $700 million in for so long? You know what I mean? So, you know, the struggle's definitely real, but the turnaround is real.
The turnaround helped me, and it's making me go back to school. It let me know if my cousin can do that shit, I can do that shit. I don't have a GED, and I never been to jail.
Do I feel like my life has matured? Yeah, my life matured. I say out of 100%, at least a good 80%.
He done matured a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot, man. From coming up, the gang banging, going to Auburn, coming up from 7 Mile to Shiner, like doing so much, man. My cousin was a street nigga, real street nigga.
Yes, I have matured a hell of a lot, and I noticed that myself. So my main goal in life right now is really just to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Being a self-made businessman and just being really successful. And I ain't talking about buy cars and clothes and money. I'm just talking about being successful in the mind where I can take $1,000 and turn it into $100,000 in a positive way. You know what I mean? I never considered myself as a statistic. I considered myself as a statistic as I started getting older. You know, looking back at it now, being 40 years old, look, I can say that, but back then, we not thinking about that.
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing we couldn't do. When you wanted to go to the club, Doc paid for everything. When he said go to the club, Doc paid for everything. I'm not lying. I'm just saying. If we popping 10 bottles, I was so drunk at the club they had to carry me out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know no better.
Just want a beer and some weed and some females. Make sure we got our guns and we got a sack. And this was going on forever, all my freaking life. So for me to turn it around, I had to lose a lot. When I think about my story, it put me in the mind of Job from the Bible. How he just lost every freaking thing. But with his faith, he just stayed strong, and according to the book, he's supposed to got stuff back. But that's how I feel like Job, was this one dominant man that had everything, from the women, the cars, the family, the money, had everything, and to, lose it all, it was a disaster.
The turnaround, it's a big step. It's a step for Doc. It's a step for everybody that's watching this, man.
I was able to turn my life around. Well, it was pretty easy for me considering that I've been in and out of the court system since an adolescent, since a juvenile.
It's a step for anybody who can relate to this, man.
When I got incarcerated for the last time, I knew, after getting my GED, that I wanted to turn it around.
You know what I'm saying? It's a step to show that you can evolve as a person, that you can rise as a people, bro. As a young black brother from the hood.
I'm in the community helping out with everybody, so it was easy for me to turn around because I already knew what I wanted to do. After you get locked up over 100 times for 2 decades, at some point, the red light got to click in or the white light got to click in because, I ain't had no choice to turn around. It was either for me to turn it around and have a story to tell you guys, or I'd be another statistic like y'all said, and y'all would have been reading about me in the newspaper. So, it wasn't hard for me with 4 kids. Do I still want to keep going in and out of jail for them? Or do I want to be out here for them and with myself and my loved ones and my people? So, that wasn't no hard one for me to turn around. It was pretty easy. The struggle was real, but, after being incarcerated so many damn times, it'll make you want to turn it around for me.
I'm listening, offers rejected. Me coming up, haha, nigga, I expect it. I'm the fly guy off the wall like Michael Jackson. Sharp in a bitch, looking like I'm in a casket. Still drinking goose, still blowing weed. When we in the club, everything on me. Been around since 93, but no one out to me. Y'all think I got the spotlight, now y'all wanna speak. Get money in the streets, riding down for bags and eat. Free low, Sam Healy, rest the